Algebra 2 students to the homework help video, page 47, numbers 23 through 30. Before we get started, I want to be very clear that I knew exactly what I was doing when I gave you your notes, and I intentionally gave you more difficult problems in your notes than what you would face in your homework. Now, I did this because I'm really disappointed in the difficulty level of the ones in your homework. In fact, when you look at these problems in just a couple minutes, you're going to see all of them already have the absolute value isolated. So that's really, to me, it's pretty lame, but I knew that before I made the video, but I still wanted to teach you what to do in case that happens, and to understand on a test or a quiz, I will definitely give you some absolute value inequalities in which you have to isolate the absolute value, okay? Even though you don't have to do that in any of these. Alright, number 23, like I just said, the absolute value is already isolated, so step 1 is done. Step 2, we're going to rewrite this. Notice the arrows point to the left, so we have a conjunction. So I bring down my d plus 1 right in the middle. My 6 goes here. Change the sign of the 6, put a negative 6 over here. Bring down your inequality symbol, and there we go. We have rewritten it as a conjunction. Now next, we are going to solve this conjunction. We want to get d all by itself, so we must get rid of this positive 1. Move it out here, it becomes a negative 1. Move it out here, it becomes a negative 1. So, owe me 6, owe me another $1, you owe me 7. You have 6, you pay off $1 debt, you have 5 left over, okay? So there's your answer. Now the directions did not ask you to graph these, so I'm not going to make you graph them, but I will say this, if you did, you would have 0 here, 5 here, negative 7 here, closed point, and the graph would go like this. D's less than 5, D's greater than negative 7, okay? We're not going to graph all of these, okay? Alright, number 24. Step 1, isolate the absolute value. That's already done for you. Step 2, rewrite this as a conjunction or disjunction. Well, it's pointing to the left, so I'm going to write a conjunction. So I put my 20 here, change the sign and put it over here. Right in the middle, I bring down my 11 minus x. And then my arrow is pointing to the left, so I keep it just like it is. There we go. Now, be careful. We want to get x all by itself. We have 2 numbers to get rid of. And you probably say, well, Mr. Earhart, you need to get glasses. There's only 1 number. No, there's 2. We have to get rid of this 11. And then there's a negative what number is here, even though you can't see it. There's really a negative 1 there we're going to have to get rid of. So there's 2 numbers we have to get rid of, okay? This is a positive 11, not a negative 11. The 11 is positive, the x is negative, okay? So in order to get rid of a positive 11, we move it out here and make it negative. We move it out here and we make it negative, okay? So this is gone. Left with negative x in the middle. Don't forget to bring down your negative sign with the x. $20, you pay off an $11 debt, you're left with 9. Owe me 20, owe me 11, you owe me 31. Alright, let's go back a page. We always want to make sure our answers are correct, and the answer was correct. Alright, now, back over here, I have a negative 1 here. So I'm going to divide every part by a negative 1. Now when I do that, a negative over a negative is positive. Turn the arrow. These negatives 1 cancel with the x. Turn the arrow. Positive divided by a negative is negative, negative 9. So there's your answer. Now before I unveil this answer, they very well might have written their answer like this. They might have put their negative 9 over here, their 31 over here, their x in the middle, and pointed the arrows to the left. Students, this answer here is identical to this answer here. How do I know? Watch. X is greater than negative 9. X is greater than negative 9. X is less than 31. X is less than 31. These 2 answers are identical, and so it really doesn't matter which way you write your answer. Although, notice in most conjunction answers, they're going to put their smaller number to the left, their larger number to the right, and they're going to point their arrows to the left. But I would accept this down here also, that's fine. Alright, number 25. Step 1, isolate the absolute value. That's already done for you. Step 2, write this as a conjunction or a disjunction. Well, it's pointing to the right, so we know we're going to write it just like it is. Then we're going to rewrite it. Well, now we're going to turn the arrow and change the sign of this term all by itself. Put the word or here. I'm going to go a lot faster for this problem. The next three I'm going to go pretty fast because we've done a lot of videos now where we've moved numbers around and divided by coefficients, and you all should be really good at this by now, okay? So here we go. The negative 5 is multiplying the x, so you get rid of that last. This is a positive 14. Bring your positive 14 over, and it becomes a negative 14, okay? So a positive 8 and a negative 14 is a negative 6. Next, we're going to divide both sides by negative 5. Negative 5. These cancel. You divide it by a negative number, so turn your arrow. Negative over a negative is positive. You're welcome to put 6/5. I'm going to put 1 and 1/5. Either way is fine, or you can put 1.2. Okay, over here, bring your positive 14 over, and when you bring it over, it becomes a negative 14. Alright, so you're left with negative 5x is less than negative 22. Now divide both sides by a negative 5. These would cancel, leaving you with x. Turn the arrow. A negative over a negative is positive. And 22 divided by 5 would be 4 and 2/5. Or 4.4. 4.4, okay? Or 22 over 5 is totally fine, alright? So there's your answer. We're not going to graph it, but that is the answer right there, alright? Moving on to number 26. Step 1, we're going to isolate the absolute value. We've already done that. I went back a problem here. Notice they have their answers. They have this one over here and this one over here. That does not matter as long as you have x is less than 1 and 1/5, and they do. X is greater than 4 and 2/5, and they do. Alright, moving on. Step 1, isolate the absolute value. Already done. Step 2, write this as a conjunction or a disjunction. What's pointing to the right? So I'm going to have a disjunction. 18 plus 1/2 x is greater than or equal to 10, or 18 plus 1/2 x is less than or equal to negative 10. There we go. Now let's get x by itself. Bring the 18 over. It becomes a negative 18, so I'm left with 1/2 x is greater than or equal to negative 8. Now, some students here get confused. They divide by 1/2. Okay? And when they do, they turn the arrow because it's a negative sign here. Remember, the bottom number is what has to be negative if you're going to turn the arrow, okay? And the bottom number is not negative. By the way, a lot of you are saying, Mr. Earhart, we're supposed to eliminate fractions, so we're going to multiply the entire thing by 2. That's fine to do. Since we just had one fraction and we had one step left, I was just going to divide by 1/2. You're welcome to multiply everything by 2, and you'll get rid of your fraction and get the exact same answer. I'm just going to go ahead and divide by 1/2. These cancel, leaving you with x. X is greater than or equal to a negative divided by a positive is negative. 8 divided by 1/2 is 16. Use your fraction button on your calculator if you need to. Alright. 8 divided by 1/2 is negative 16. Now, next inequality, bring the 18 over, make it a negative 18. So we're left with 1/2. X is less than or equal to negative 28. Now we're going to divide both sides by 1/2. I'll tell you what, on this problem here, to show you that you can eliminate fractions, I'm going to go ahead, instead of dividing by 1/2, I'm going to go ahead and show you that you can also eliminate fractions if you want to, and you'll get the exact same answer. So my denominator is 2. I'm going to multiply everything by 2. 2 over 1 times 1 over 2 is 1x, or just x. 2 times negative 28 is negative 56. That's the exact same thing you would have got if you would have divided both sides by 1/2. The exact same thing. Alright? So there's your answer. X is greater than or equal to negative 16, or x is less than or equal to negative 56. And that's the exact same answer they have, except they have this one written first over here, which is totally fine. It does not matter. 26, or 2x plus 3 less than or equal to negative 26. Alright, bring the 3 over and make it a negative 3, and we're left with this right here. Then divide both sides by 2, and we're left with 11 and 1/2. Alright, or 11.5, or 23 over 2. Or, okay, bring the 3 over and make it a negative 3. That's negative 29. When you combine the negative 3 with the negative 26, now divide both sides by 2, and x is less than or equal to negative 14 and a half, or negative 29 over 2, or negative 14.5. So there we go. There's our answer. We're going through these pretty quickly now. Alright, pretty simple. Alright, moving on. Okay, step 1, isolate the absolute value. So, we've already done that. Step 2, rewrite this as a conjunction or disjunction. Well, it's pointing to the left, which looks almost like the letter C. So it is a conjunction, okay? So I'm going to put the 11 right here, and then change the sign and put a negative 11 over here. But the arrow is pointing to the left. Now I did not put an equal sign under them like that, because there's no equal sign right here. If there would have been one here, then I would have put one down here. Now in the middle I put 7r plus 3, and now we're good to go. Alright, we want to get r by itself, so we have to get rid of the 7 and the 3. We get rid of the 7 last as the coefficient, so we get rid of the positive 3 first. Positive 3 here, or negative 3 here. Negative 3 here. When you move the positive 3 out, the signs change, so you're left with negative 14. There we go. Now divide everything by 7. Negative 14 divided by 7 is negative 2. 7r divided by 7 is r. And 8 divided by 7 would be 8 sevenths, or 1 and 1/7. Alright? And let's make sure that's right. And yes, it is. Alright? Moving on to number 29. Step 1, isolate the absolute value. We've already done that. Step 2, notice that this sign is pointing to the left, so we do have a conjunction. Put your positive 2 here, then change the sign and put it over here. Right in the middle, you're going to put 19 plus j. And then put your arrows pointing to the left. And here we go, pretty simple. Get rid of your 19. So I move it over here, it's a negative 19. Move it over here, it's a negative 19. Negative 2, negative 19, negative 21. And then you're left here in the middle with, we move the 19, so the 19's gone. We're left with positive j. Or I'm just going to put j. Positive 2, negative 19, negative 17. Okay, so j is greater than negative 21, and j is also less than negative 17. And there we go. Alright, moving on to number 30. Step 1, isolate the absolute value. That's already been done for us. Step 2, notice it's pointing to the right, so we're going to have a disjunction. So I'm going to write the problem just like it is. 7 plus 8x is greater than 5. Write that without any absolute value symbols, okay? You want to get rid of those. And then you're going to write the exact same thing, almost. Turn the arrow and change the sign of the 5 to a negative 5. And there we go. Alright. Now, let's solve for x. Save the 8 for last because it's the coefficient of x. Take this positive 7, move it over to negative 7. So 8x greater than or equal to negative, no, not equal to, sorry, greater than negative 2. Negative 2. Divide both sides by 8. So divide by 8, divide by 8. This cancel. X is greater than negative 1/4, or negative 0.25. Alright. Okay, over here. And there should not be an x with this 7 right here. I do apologize. Just caught that mistake right now, so we'll take care of that. And it should just be a 7, obviously, right here. Alright, now here we go. Let's bring the positive 7 over and make negative 7. So I'm left with 8x is less than negative 12. Now divide both sides by 8. These 8's cancel. X is less than a negative divided by a positive is negative. 4 goes into both these numbers. 4 goes into 12 and 4 goes into 8. So this whole fraction right here can be reduced by 4, which would give us a 3 halves. Right? So 4 goes into both of these numbers, reducing it to 3 halves. X is less than negative 3 halves. So bring down your word or. X is greater than negative 1/4. Or x is less than negative 3 halves. That should be the right answer. Yep. X is less than 3 halves. X is greater than 1/4. That is correct. Okay, so guys, that's the homework help video for today. I hope this has been a help to you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call or email.